Right. File compression at your level needs you to understand two major types of compression, which are lossy compression and then lossless compression. You must have some a bit of some appreciation of that. We don't go into detail, but I think as I'm seeing in the book here, we will do one lossless compression and maybe one lossy compression method, so that you can see the differences between the two algorithms. But at the moment, to introduce, just know that there are two types of compression, which are lossy compression and lossless compression, right? So to compress a file simply means to reduce the size of the file so that it becomes maybe efficient for processing, for transmitting on the network, uploading, downloading, and working with smaller machines and so on and so forth. That's what we mean by compression, reducing the size of the file. Whether it is text, video, animation, sound, compression is simply reducing the file size using an identified algorithm. So for lossless compression, all the data of the original file can be reconstructed when the file is uncompressed again, right? But with lossy compression, like JPEG, like MP3, when you are compressing, you remove data that we consider unnecessary to the user of the file. Of course, the file is now losing quality because it's no longer the original file. But we are saying we are removing those items of data that we think are not very pertinent to the user of the file, right? So examples of lossy compression with MP3 there and JPEG for images. Then lossless compression, we have run length encoding. You shall see also zip default as examples of lossless compression algorithms, RAS and everything. But here I've simply given one example of lossless compression. So look at how sound is compressed. We use what is called perceptual music shaping, which removes certain sounds that are outside human hearing range, right? For example, if two sounds are played at the same time, only the louder sound that a human being can hear is the one that should be presented to you, and the sound which you cannot hear, because it has been masked by a higher sound, should be removed from the file because it's not necessary. You are not using it. Another example of a sound that can be eliminated, we are saying if the sound is too high or too low that a human being, it should also be removed from the file. So this compression method removes data that we think is unnecessary. For example, if someone is whispering, we cannot hear that, but the recording system has captured that whisper because the whisper is bringing pressure to the sound recorder, right? So with compression methods that are lost like MP3, file will lose some of the information or the sounds from the original file, and therefore after compression the original file will never be recovered, right? So for images, when a photographic file is compressed, both the size and quality is reduced, right? A common file format for images is JPEG, which uses loss file compression method. Once the image is subjected to JPEG compression algorithm, a new file is formed and the original file can no longer be reconstructed because data has been lost. So a JPEG algorithm will reduce a bitmap image by a factor of 5 to 15, depending on the quality of the original image, right? But all the data that has been compressed out is never recovered. To mean you cannot get back the original file after compressing an image with JPEG algorithm. Vector graphics can also undergo some form of file compression. Scalable vector graphics are defined in XML text files, which therefore allow them to be compressed. Don't worry about XML files. Those are computer files that use a language which is like a programming language, which is called XML. It's like a programming language of some sort, which is used to compress a file. Usually, a vector graphic file, like we said yesterday, is small, and therefore, most of the time, it may not need to be recompressed, but when need be, it can also be compressed. Then MPEG. When we are saying MP4, MPEG 4 or MP4, we are simply referring to a video file. A video file can have text, audio, images, and animations. So these are that must encompass all those things in one. And when they encompass all those things in one, you have a compressed file. So the format allows the storage of multimedia files to mean text, audio, animations, or music, videos, photos, and animations inside one file. And what does that mean? It actually means in MP4, there is no single compression algorithm. It is a file that has several compression algorithms, which it must be able to compress pictures, to compress text, to compress images, to compress animation. Formats are included in one file format, which is called MPEG-4. And most of them that are included in MPEG-4, they are all lossy compression methods. So, thank you very much. This is just an introduction to compression. We shall do run length encoding when we meet.